And that goes
So
back to Hink.
what year was this?
Hold,
You was talking about your grandmother. What year was
hold on,
this?
hold on, Hink. Let me just say this real quick. So that goes back to what Hink was saying earlier. For one, two, I do want to address something that was said earlier about mistaken, and Ty said it too. We take away the most men only know to have tunnel focus, tunnel vision on a goal or a plan because that's what's been instilled in us since we were children. Because we understand that we have to provide for our families, right? So if that is our main focus, then that's going to be the primary goal. Now, in most cases, it's difficult again for most men to not understand the importance of that balance because they may not have seen it. They may not have been in a position to see their father do the same thing. Maybe by the time their dad got home, they was in bed and then he poured into, you know what I'm saying, his wife or whatever, whatever type of way. So I think that men figure that out over time. I don't think that that's something that they understand right off bat as far as with understanding the importance and the value of that balance. Until then, it's me just solely being focused on getting this one thing done because I know that once I get it done, I'm gonna create this environment for my family where I can feel comfortable. I know my wife and my kids can be comfortable, and that's all that most men do. So I understand the frustration that women could have or do have with it, but if you love that man, then you should be able to understand and help him find that balance because that's the only way that it's going to happen. I just wanted to say that.
To answer you, and I agree with you. I agree with you. To answer your question, Hank, my grandparents got married in the 1940s.
So around the 60s, they was coming up doing their thing. Stay at home wife. Yeah, Brittany. You ladies, boy, y'all a trip. Y'all, where my buddy Billy at? Billy, bring your ass back if I say something crazy.
But in the, I will say this:
like this didn't happen. I go down. Look, not every woman worked. I understand it, and a lot of them was some worked part time. They had part time jobs, but they still was make sure they was there to see the kids off, see the kids when they got off the bus, and take care of the house. Make sure a man had a hot plate. Do you think these 2024 half these women can't cook?
But here's
they
the
can't
thing.
boil goddamn water.
Here's the thing that I have to
try to
take
put
into
a
account.
goddamn full meal for the whole family together. They can't do it. You know how they cook? We're gonna DoorDash some food. That's what they consider making sure they provide the meal.
But what has to be understood
about
are
men building houses like that though too, Hank? Because at the same time, like you're saying, those certain expectations that men had of women back then, there was a level of rearing that they had, the environment. Women were trained to be wives. They were taught to cook. They were taught to clean. Whereas men were also taught to fix cars, taught to build homes, their own homes by hand. Men are not doing those same things today, just like you're saying the women aren't. Modernization is, wait, hold on.
Who you think
modernization causes changes when you have, technology advancements and things like that. People tend to lose skills that they don't use anymore. Like my mom, knew how to sew, right?
When did y'all stop eating?
No, but what I'm saying is,
some of y'all. You realize we one of your rich countries in the world. When did we stop eating?
I'm not saying that you didn't stop. I'm not saying that you stopped eating. What I'm saying is the cooking thing is no longer necessarily as needed back then, because back then they didn't make as much money to eat out. You had women that didn't work as many hours as that they are required to do, depending on their careers. It didn't take two dual incomes or always to make a home. So women have less time. So out of need, you end up having other things that are created. So you've got your DoorDash, you've got your pre-made meals and all of those things. People aren't growing gardens to get their own food. So what I'm saying is technology changed the
growing
way
their gardens then,
that.
though, mistaken. They
And
didn't have the
no,
room to grow gardens. You didn't have the room. You had a
right,
small
but
little plot of land, maybe on a
Hank,
half an
listen
acre. You
to what
growing
I said.
gardens.
Listen, you're saying, when did we stop needing to eat? When did we stop needing to have shelter? What I'm saying is, you're not building the shelter by hand. My grandfather built their house that my parents grew up in, right? She just said her grandfather built their house. Those are skill sets that men came with when they had a family. But over the years, as technology advanced, you did not need to have those skills, right?
People
So
still
you
building
have
houses. You
majority
don't
of
have
men
machines
that don't know how to build a
houses.
home, don't know how
What are you
to
talking?
take care of a car. What I'm saying is, you
What
got
do
to
you?
look at it the same
Who you think's
way
taking?
for women.
Who you think's take care of these cars? Who you think's are working on cars? We don't have machines fixing cars yet. We don't have
We're
robots
talking
fixing
about
cars and
in
building houses. Men
no,
still
you're
are
moving
doing
the
these things.
goalposts. You're
I'm
moving the
not moving the
goalposts.
goalposts. You saying
About,
you acting
you're,
like men are not doing these
you're
things. Men are
talking
still
about
doing it.
other men. You're talking about other men doing a job that the husbands did. You're paying somebody, another
Mistaken
man, to
case
do
you
the
can do.
job that husbands used to do.
Every man didn't work on
No
the car in the
different than a woman
60s.
paying
Every
DoorDash
man didn't work
to
on the
make
car in the
meals.
60s. Mistaken? Every man didn't work on the car in the 60s.
And
They
every
had
woman
mechanics.
didn't stay at home.
Housewives either.
Every woman didn't
Most
stay
women
at
wasn't
home.
housewives.
That's
They knew
the
how to
point.
cook. They knew how to take care of their kids. They knew how
It's
to
women now that know how to
keep
take
a
care of
home.
kids.
Matter
I
of
know
fact,
how to
they
cook.
knew how to
I
stay
take care of my
married.
kids.
They knew how to
Yeah.
make certain sacrifices.
They
Now
don't
that's
know
my
the
issue.
respect
That's
are
my
more
issue
proud about
with
what they do for their
implying.
kids more
They are
than the
not
men
willing
that
to
they're
cook. They are
dating.
not
You
willing to
cannot say that women are
do a
not
man.
You keep
righteous.
implying that there's
Like
these
the
women
ladies
that aren't
just
willing to
said.
do these
They said
things,
as
but
soon
that's
as if
not
a man
true.
loses his job,
Keep
they are
saying
out of the house.
women
They are
don't
no
want
longer
to be
going to be
mothers.
with
That's
men
not true.
because he can no longer maintain. Yeah, the women are not willing to go 50-50. They're not willing to do that. They expect you to
When he
provide
says stuff for
100%,
shock value,
but you're
because
not willing
nothing
to go.
he's saying
You're
is
not willing to
true.
go in
Can
there
you
and
really
get in
just
that
listen
kitchen
and
keep a clean
process?
house, a clean home. You're not willing to get in that kitchen or cook a good meal. You're not willing to do that.
Hank,
Let
can
me
you just
say
take?
this: your mammy probably didn't teach you how to cook because she can cook.
Ain't nobody got
He is
time for that. But women
controlling.
are doing both.
Hank,
They're working. They still
Hank, I
taking
just
care of the
really
kids. They
needed
still
you to
cook
take a
good. And some
moment.
of them are more proud about
Hank,
what they do
I
for
just
their
needed
kids
you to
than for their
take a moment.
men. It's just fact.
Hank, I just need you to take a moment, process what I said, because I think you're thinking that I'm trying to hold on.
And I heard every other lady that was going against me. And I'm okay with
what
that.
you're thinking that I'm doing is trying to downplay men, but what I'm really not. What I'm trying to do
that's all y'all been doing
is
all
draw.
night. That's all
Hold
we've
on.
been doing.
That's how you're taking it.